Sing it with me. I know you want to. Welcome aboard, everybody. Dr. Peter Glidden, your steadfast advocate for health halfway through the month of December. How about that? 10 days left until Christmas. How did that happen? Don't know. Antidepressant use in pregnancy ups the autism risk. This trending now on Google Health from znews.india.com. znews.india.com. Washington, D.C. The pros and cons of taking antidepressants while pregnant have been hotly debated, and now a recent study suggests that their usage increases the risk of autism, you sitting down, by 87%. The University of Montreal's Annick Berard came to her conclusions after reviewing data covering 145,456 pregnancies. That's a healthy amount. The variety and causes of autism remain unclear. She added that the study has established that taking antidepressants during the second or third trimester of pregnancy doubles the risk that the child will be diagnosed with autism by age 7, and this increases if the antidepressants were selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, also known as SSRIs. Gesundheit. So this is interesting, right? The World Health Organization, we want to finish this up here. The World Health Organization indicates that depression will be the second leading cause of death by 2020. The second leading cause of death by 2020. I bet you didn't think that, which leads researchers to believe that antidepressants will likely remain widely prescribed, including during pregnancy. Now, this is interesting, right? This is a perfect picture of the MD methodology and the MD understanding of illness, and also how the MDs work to get things done, how the MDs work to get things done. Their methodology, the MD's methodology, is reductionism. Medical doctors, remember, right? This is our mantra. Medical doctors are not trained in medicine. They're trained in a particular type of medicine. It's referred to as allopathic reductionism. And allopathic reductionism is a very peculiar philosophy. It is a very unique philosophy of medicine. Allopathic reductionism argues that the human body does not have the ability to fix itself, that the human body is a bag of biochemicals waiting to break, and when it does break, it's not the physician's job to figure out what caused the illness nor to cure it. It's the MD's job to manage the symptoms with drugs like selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors. So rather than attempt to discern the cause of diabetes and to develop a therapeutic to cure the diabetes or the depression in this case, rather than attempt to discover what causes depression and develop a therapeutic to cure it, the MDs simply manage brain chemistry with drugs. That's their solution, right? Rather than understand what causes and how to cure heartburn, the MDs manage the symptoms with drugs. The same with high blood pressure, the same with everything. Yesterday, we spoke about another illness which is rising here in the United States, and the medical doctors are unable to wrap their heads around what to do to cure it. Your medical doctor can't cure illness. They can't cure it. Especially so with depression. And right, while we've given ourselves over to the medical thought promoted by the MDs, depression is rising, and it predicted that in the next 4 years it's going to be the second leading cause of death. You got to be kidding me. So why do women who are pregnant get depressed? Right? Do women who are pregnant get depressed? Because depression is a nutrient deficiency disease. You don't get depressed because you have a brain. You don't get depressed because life is hard. You get depressed when your body runs out of the raw materials that it needs to maintain proper biochemical relativity in the body. Your body knows how to fix itself. Your body knows how to sort itself out. Your body knows how to be in optimal health. And the holistic point of view argues that the human body is attempting to optimize its health all of the time. The MDs do not believe this. So when the MDs come up against depression, rather than attempting to figure out what causes it, and develop a therapy to actually cure it. They just push the symptoms around with, in this case, selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors or tricyclic antidepressants. Antidepressants, right? The intention is not to cure the illness, but simply to manipulate the biochemistry of the body this way or that way to numb down the symptoms, kind of like taking Novocaine. Doesn't cure the condition, doesn't even get close to coming to a cure. So, but damn the torpedoes, because it's not the medical doctor's job to ensure that the child doesn't get autism 7 years from now. It's the medical doctor's job to make the patient in front of them right now as happy as they can be. So antidepressants, antidepressants, antidepressants. Last week, 2 weeks ago, I believe, 2 weeks ago, I produced a free worldwide webinar on depression. You want to check that out. Go to Glidden. My YouTube channel is glidden.healthcare. My YouTube channel, glidden.healthcare. My Facebook page, glidden.healthcare. My website, glidden.healthcare. See a pattern there? Check out my stuff on the interwebs and educate yourself about the real reason that illnesses exist, the holistic reason that illnesses exist. Holistic physicians are few and far between in the 21st century. There are only a handful of us, and it is only holistic physicians who are attempting to cure illness. By attempting to discover the operative cause of the illness and develop a smart therapeutic, the intention of which is to attempt to cure the condition. So, depression, from our point of view, is a nutrient deficiency disease. Your body the mother's body does not have the nutrients it needs to be healthy in the first place, and then when she gets pregnant, there's another body in her body, and it's robbing nutrients from her body. So the child is developing in a womb that's undernutrified. Now the mother is more undernutrified because she's pregnant. And so eventually something's going to snap, something's going to break. Well, what is it? Well, sometimes it's depression. Sometimes it's your brain chemicals don't have the raw materials they need to work properly. Sometimes it's your blood sugar doesn't have the raw materials to be uptaken into the cells efficiently, so you get gestational diabetes. You don't have enough calcium, don't have enough magnesium, you get eclampsia, preeclampsia. And then, heaven forbid, if the nutrient deficiencies are low enough, long enough, or nutrient deficiencies are present at an exact moment in time in which the baby inside the womb is developing, an eye or a lung or a heart or whatever, at that moment in time, if there aren't enough nutrients necessary to complete that transition, the child is born with a birth defect. While we have let the MDs run roughshod over the practice of medicine, while we have let the MDs have exclusive control over the delivery of medicine, autism has skyrocketed. It used to be 1 in 10,000. Now it's what, 1 out of 59? That's just nuts. But that's the way that it is in the wonderful world of Machiavellian, modern, monopolistic, MD-directed, mediocre medicine. And remember, because these people have the keys to the castle, because they are the king, they can do whatever they want and get away with it. It is a self-policing, self-regulating industry. So when they fail us, and when their therapeutics create autism, which has just been uncovered by this new study, nothing happens. Nobody goes to jail. There are no consequences. Nothing happens to the pharmaceutical industry. Nothing happens to the doctor that prescribed the treatment. Can you imagine what would happen if a naturopathic physician or a chiropractor or an herbalist gave one woman who was pregnant an herb and it made the child autistic? Can you imagine what would happen? We'd be pilloried in the town square, right? We'd be thrown in jail, slandered, defamed, all because of our cultural conditioning, which has led us to believe over the last 100 years that the MD's crap does not stink. And that whatever they do is the best that science and medicine has to offer, and everybody just has to pony on up, just has to cowboy up to that position. And it's wrong and it's incorrect. The best possible thing you can do if you're suffering with a chronic health condition is fire your medical doctor because their therapeutics are insufficient to the cause. They have thrown the baby out with the bathwater. The human body is so much more than a bag of biochemicals waiting to break. The human body, from the holistic point of view, is endowed with a God-given intelligence. The human body is inhabited by a spiritual force, which brings intelligence to play. It is the vital force, the spiritual force inside the body, which is running the show, and it is this intelligent force which attempts to cure, optimize, maintain the structure and function of the human body from the moment of birth until the moment of death. The millions of metabolic processes which are happening in your body right now, which are beyond your conscious control, the beating of your heart, the regulation of hormones and biochemicals in the body, the uptake of sugar in the body, everything that happens in the body is outside of your conscious control, most of it. What do you think? This is just happening automatically by some evolutionary fiat? No, there's a vital force which is at play. There is an intelligence, a divine intelligence, a spiritual intelligence present in the body. And what this boils down to in brass tacks pragmatic reality is that the human body is trying to fix itself all of the flippin' time. If you're depressed, it's not because you have a bad gene. It's because you have a bad doctor. If you have heartburn, you have arthritis, you have type 2 diabetes, you have high blood pressure. If you're suffering with a chronic illness, it's because you have a bad doctor. Your doctor does not know what to do to cure your condition. Your medical doctor does not even believe that a cure is possible. Fire your medical doctor now and educate yourself about what you can do, in this case, to recover from depression the holistic way, the smart way, the best way. More to come. Stick around. Dr. Peter Glidden here. Thanks so much for clicking on the link. I appreciate your trust and your curiosity. Last year in the United States, we spent over $30 billion on nutritional supplements, and everybody's still sick. When it comes to nutritional supplements, the recipe is everything. All wine is made from grapes. There's a great deal of difference from bottle to bottle, depending on too many variables to count. It's the same with nutritional supplements. If you need to spend hard-earned money on nutritional supplements, which you do because medical insurance doesn't pay for it, did you ever wonder why? Well, that's the subject for an entirely different conversation. But in point of fact, our position is, in order for the body to work the way that God and nature intended it, there are 90 essential nutrients that need to be imported into it on a daily basis. These 90 essential nutrients are not all present in the food supply. You must supplement. It's mandatory. You must give your body the raw materials it needs every day to optimize its structure and function. You must give your body a fighting chance. So you need nutritional supplements. Well, which nutritional supplements should you take? That's the million-dollar question. I've been doing naturopathic medicine, practicing naturopathic medical therapeutics in clinical settings for over a quarter of a century now. And as God is my witness, I am here to tell you that the nutritional supplements which produce the most consistent, effective results are those developed and delivered by Youngevity. If you have finally snapped out of it and seen the light, if you are finally convinced that medical nutrition is what your body has been missing your entire life, and if you're ready to take a walk through the undiscovered country of science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition, then you need to try Youngevity's nutritional supplements, because they produce the most consistent results of anything I've ever seen. And I've seen a lot in over a quarter of a century of primary care naturopathic medicine. Fill out the form on this page, ladies and gentlemen. Click the submit button, and a Youngevity representative whom I know and trust will be in touch with you to show you what to do to support and promote your body's ability to optimize its structure and function. Thanks for your time. Thanks for your trust. I am your steadfast advocate for health, Dr. Peter Glidden. Live long and prosper. I'll see you around campus. 844-374-5433. 374-5433. Give me a call like AC in VA did. Hey, AC, welcome aboard. You are live.
Good morning, Dr. Glidden.
Good morning, AC. What's happening?
Nothing much. Just enjoying the non-winter type weather that we're enjoying.
I know. What part of Virginia are you in?
Richmond.
Richmond. AC, is Virginia really for lovers, is it?
Oh, absolutely.
How long have you lived there?
My whole life. I'll be 62 in January.
Well, you got to love it. Back in my college days, I had a buddy who was going to Duke University, and I went down there and hung out in right around Chapel Hill, Durham area of North Carolina. I was there from September, I think, or October until June, and it was just an awesome experience. I really loved living in the South, but I had to leave in June, man, because we were living, we were college guys, right? And, we were all living in a house together and there was no AC. And I had to leave, man. I couldn't handle it. It was too, you'd step out of the shower and 10 minutes later you're soaking again because it was so humid. Thank God for air conditioning. I don't know how those guys did it. And how anybody lived below the Mason-Dixon line before they invented air conditioning. I just don't get how that was possible. I think we've gotten weak over time. I think I don't really know, but I digress. AC. The short version of my little diatribe here is I love the southern part of the United States. It's awesome. In any event, welcome aboard, man. How can I help?
Thank you. I just to give you a little bit of background, I first found out about longevity about 8 or 9 months ago. I heard Dr. Wallach on Coast to Coast one night.
Yeah.
So I liked what he had to say, and I started listening to his program daily. And I finally got on a protocol it's been about 4.5 months ago for myself. I have retinitis pigmentosa, so I'm on a protocol to correct that.
Very good.
And then, so I wanted to talk to you a little bit about that. And then secondly, about my wife. She is not taking the product, but she has some issues, and I'd like to get your take on what she should take to correct the issues that she has.
Well, I'm happy to help, AC, and I'm going to give myself a little plug here, if I may. I was just scheduled to myself be on Coast to Coast again just yesterday. That's going to happen the 21st of December. The 21st of December, I'll be interviewed by George Norrie for 2 hours, so put that on the calendar. I really have to take my hat off to Premier Radio Networks and to George Norrie and his producer and Coast to Coast and the whole team, because the stuff that we talk about is not mainstream, and it takes a certain amount of chutzpah to be able to put people like Dr. Wallach and myself on the national stage, right? Because there's a lot of blowback from that. We're like the people going around before the Civil War saying, hey, everybody, slavery's not such a good idea, right? It wasn't such a popular notion. It was the correct notion, but not such a popular notion. Premier Radio Networks and George Norrie himself really are due a lot of credit for having the cojones to let Dr. Wallach and myself and Ben Fuchs have the microphone. I really think we're going to do a lot of good through that avenue. So anyway, the 21st, I'll be on it, God willing, and the creek don't rise. So tune on in and give us a call, why don't you, and tell us how you're doing. Okay, so retinitis pigmentosa, selenium. You need to max out your selenium intake in addition to the basic foundation 90 essential nutrients. So how much do you weigh, AC?
150.
150? Okay, so I would do 9 selenium a day. That would be 3 bottles a month. I would do, if you can, 3 selenium 3 times a day between meals. Now, sometimes people can't do stuff between meals just because of their lifestyle, or it's a hard habit to fall into. So if you can't manage that, then take the selenium 3 times a day with a meal. But it's better if you can take it between a meal. 3 selenium 3 times a day between meals. All right. Now, at 150 pounds, you would need 1 Healthy Body Start Pack 2.0 liquid per month. 1 Healthy Body Start Pack 2.0 liquid per month. You would do 2 scoops of the Beyond Tangy Tangerine in about 16 ounces of water. in the morning. Take 3 or 4 hours to drink that down. And we're up against a break. Hang on with me, AC. I'll finish this up with you on the other side of the break. I appreciate your patience and your support. Ladies and gentlemen, I am your steadfast advocate for health. Thanks for tuning in and turning on. More to come.
If you are sick and tired of feeling sick and tired, if you are finally finished with expensive and ineffective MD treatments, and if you are frustrated with not knowing which nutritional supplements to take, you have come to exactly the right place. We are here to help. Log into eiffelhealth.com, click the contact button, and someone who has been working with Dr. Glidden will contact you and show you exactly what to do to recover your health. Go to eiffelhealth.com, that's eiffelhealth.com, and click the contact button now.
Welcome back. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Peter Glidden, your steadfast advocate for health. Thanks for tuning in and turning on. Let's finish this up with AC in VA. AC, are you still with me?
I am. Should I tell you what they already have me on, and then you could tell me how you might want to change it?
Well, yeah, it's a good idea.
This was my upline had contacted Dr. Wallach when he was on his Japan trip, and this is what he came back with, and I've been on it for about 4.5 months. I'm doing one Beyond Tangy Tangerine crystals. So I do 2 scoops. I've been doing a scoop in the morning and a scoop at night. So you're saying do both scoops in the morning?
Well, how are you sleeping? Has that made your sleep difficult at night or not?
Well, no, and I do this one scoop of the OsteoFX in the evening.
So if the Beyond OsteoFX, if the Beyond Tangy Tangerine taken after sunset does not interfere with sleep, then you're good to go, and it's better to spread out the dose over the course of the day than to take it all up front.
Okay.
I would also have you, however, take the Beyond Tangy Tangerine tablets. Did Wallach recommend that?
Yeah. So it's the one canister of the powder.
Yep.
And then one canister of the OsteoFX. Then I'm taking one bottle of the Cell Shield RTQ.
Yep.
Which is I guess that's I can't remember if that's 2 or 3 a day. And then one bottle of Immortalium.
Yep.
One bottle of the Beyond Tangy Tangerine tablets.
Yep.
And one bottle of there's another one.
Selenium.
Selenium, yes, selenium. Yeah, the selenium is three tablets a day or capsules a day, and the Cell Shield RTQ is 2 a day. Yep. And then I'm taking the large bottle of this was something I added for another issue was the glucogel, and I have seen results taking that.
Okay, great. So, and at 150 pounds, the only thing that I would do by way of modification is I wouldn't recommend the Immortalium. Dr. Wallach does. But, we've gotten really good results with pityriasis rosacea before that came out. I would do more selenium. I do 3 bottles of selenium a month. I would do 9 a day. And I would also add plant-derived minerals. 1 bottle of plant-derived minerals into the mix, and I would mix 1 ounce of the plant-derived minerals with the Beyond OsteoFX drink that you take immediately before bed. So I would add 2 bottles of selenium to your program. I would add 1 bottle of the plant-derived minerals, and when you're done with the Immortalium, I would stop it. It seems a little bit like overkill here. You definitely need more selenium as far as I'm concerned, and you need more plant-derived minerals. Now, have you eliminated the 12 bad foods?
Yes. I think he was going for the ORAC value. I think that's one reason he had...
Well, there's 160,000 ORAC in the 4 tablets of Beyond Tangy Tangerine tablets. That's 40,000 ORAC per tablet. I mean, that's a massive amount. And the Cell Shield RTQ has 8,000 per capsule, so you're getting beaucoup amounts of antioxidants. You don't need any more, but you do need more selenium, and you do need more plant-derived minerals. And
I'll adjust that. I have heard you say a lot of people to take the osteo liquid.
Well, that's an interesting thing to talk about. The only way to know which your body does better with is to switch them out and do the liquid 1 month and the powder 1 month. I was working with a private patient here at my office in Minnesota, and she had, I think it was, I can't remember what the issue was, but I think it was an arthritic issue. And she was taking the liquid calcium on my advice for 3 months, and she was getting a little bit better, but there wasn't anything remarkable. And then she ran out of it. And a friend of hers, she forgot to order it, right? But a friend of hers had the powdered calcium, so she lent her a bottle of it. She started the powdered calcium, and within a week of taking the powdered calcium, there was a remarkable change in the problem that she was taking it for. So, and I've had other people tell me exactly the opposite, that while they were taking the powder, they didn't get much traction, and when they switched to the liquid, everything got better. So I really don't know what's going on there, but I do know with medical nutrition, with anything that we do, right, the proof of the pudding is in the eating. So I would switch it out for 1 month between the powder and the liquid and see if you notice any benefit either way. That's really the only way to know.
And do you think the plant-derived minerals, I was told last month to take that and dilute it into eyedropper and do the eye drops of that?
Yeah, that's not a bad idea to put the plant-derived minerals. I'm not sure that, I'd have to think that through. It's not going to hurt you. I don't know really whether or not the extra added work there is going to be of any benefit. You do need to take the extra plant-derived minerals, though, if you're dealing with pityriasis rosacea. You should also learn how to do lymphatic breathing. I have a little webinar about that on my website. And it would be prudent for you to fast on a regular basis. I'm going to be talking a lot about fasting in 2016. 2016 is going to be the year of learning how to fast properly. I'm going to be rolling out a 21-day detoxification program in January that you can have access to on my website. But notwithstanding that, it's a good idea to get into the habit of fasting for 1 or 2 days a month. If you can do it once a month, it would be a good idea to get into the habit of fasting for 3 days. But I'm going to be talking much more about that moving forward in the future.
But the glucogel, when I started taking that, that was something that I added on my own for some issues in listening. But I had some ridges across the base of my heel, where the sole and the heel come together.
Yeah.
It's some vertical ridges across there, and that is smoothed right out. Yeah,
you got to love that. And the body, it's funny, right? Because when we are involved in a healing process, it's kind of this slow, steady thing. It's kind of like you don't feel your hair growing, right? But you wake up one day and it's like, oh, geez, son of a gun, I need a haircut. That's how the body heals itself most of the time. It's a slow and steady process. You're not really aware of it. And then one day you wake up and you look down and the eczema's gone. And it's like, wow, son of a gun, I had no idea. Or, the creases in the skin or the whatever. It's like, oh, son of a gun.
What were those indicative of?
Well, that was just indicative of a lack of sulfur-bearing molecules in your body, and the body was just slowly starting to have a breakdown in connective tissue. It's like your tires get worn out because you drive them too hard and you don't switch out the tires or you don't balance them. Well, it's the same thing. So, and the body, when it becomes nutritionally deficient, tends to break in different parts in different people. Right. And so one person with a calcium deficiency will get low back pain. Another person with a calcium deficiency gets heartburn. Another person with a calcium deficiency gets high blood pressure, whatever. That is in fact inherited. That is in fact genetic. But why a sulfur bearing molecule deficiency would show up in you and your feet and not in your right elbow, God only knows, right? That's just kind of how your body was architected. But it's an indication that your body was nutritionally deficient, and also that your body has the ability to optimize its structure and function because you changed your diet, you took the supplements, and that part of the body fixed itself. Well, then we can extrapolate, therefore, that the healing process is afoot, right, in your body, pun intended, and that it's just a matter of time until everything else kind of comes around. So discipline over time for you is the most important thing. You must maintain the discipline, give the program time to work, especially when it comes to the eyes.
So I don't want to spend all my available time about me, but one last quick question, and then we could go to my wife's.
Yeah, go ahead. We got all the time in the world. Shoot.
Okay, good. I have graying hair. It's not white, but it's graying hair. Will the selenium, is that something that will address that? Or?
Well, no, it's the copper that's in the selenium supplement. Copper is what you need. There are two things. You need the trace mineral copper and the amino acid tyrosine in order for the body to create pigment the way that nature and God intended it to. But copper is an interesting nutrient. Remember, we are advocates of the holistic method. And so if you were just to take a boatload of copper into the body, you would upset the apple cart and your body would lose selenium, because copper and selenium have this kind of relationship. If you take too much copper, it wastes selenium, and vice versa. Same with calcium and magnesium and vitamin C and copper. Also, if you take too much vitamin C, you're going to become copper deficient. So we need copper in the body if we want to have healthy pigment. But when we're overdoing it with copper, we need to have enough selenium so that we don't upset the apple cart. And this is a testament to Wallach's genius, because the selenium supplement that he has, the ultimate selenium, has sufficient amounts of copper in it in a nice little ratio. So that's what I would do, and that's another feather in the cap of selenium being something that you need to take more of. And I would guess that within a year, that's a slow boat, and that's one of the last things to go. And when the hair does start to recover its pigmentation, it happens in the back of the head first, and then moves forward. But that's going to take a long time. But selenium, 9 a day, because it has the extra copper in it, would be indicated for you.
Oh, good. The lady that cuts my hair last month when I got my hair cut, she said, your hair seems to be getting darker. And nobody else has noticed it, and I can't see, so I can't tell. But
yeah. Well, it happened to me, and it happens to lots and lots of people, and it's interesting, really, these things, the way that the body fixes itself. It's slow and steady wins the race. Now, how's your wife doing?
Well, she's fine. She's very health conscious, avoids the 12 foods, other than she doesn't buy into that not omega-3, but the oil. I'm a little nervous talking to you. The one particular oil, olive oil.
Oh, she thinks that olive oil is healthy, right?
Right. I can't convince her of that.
Well, that's okay. Small steps.
Yeah, but she doesn't eat gluten, and she doesn't eat fried foods and so forth. But she thinks butter is awful, and she doesn't eat very much butter, and she doesn't eat very much salt and things that you naturally just get in your diet. But she is very health conscious, and it's just things that have been ingrained in her that it's hard to turn the ship, if you will.
Well, is she having any concerns like high blood pressure or arthritis or anything, or is she good?
Well, no. The one big issue that she has right now is her hair is thinning.
Oh, yeah. Well, look, so in women, when hair thins, that's related to three things. Generally speaking, when we start to lose hair, whether you're a man or a woman, it can be related to nutrient deficiencies, because your body will rob nutrients from non-essential tissue to feed essential tissue. So if you're running out of nutrients and your heart is starting to suffer, your body's going to steal those from your hair and your nails in order to keep the heart healthy. So sometimes when your hair is thinning characteristically, it's a sign of undiagnosed nutrient deficiencies. Sometimes it's just life, right? That you just lose your hair the older that you get, and there are some people that's just baked into the cake. The other thing, however, that she should be advised about is it could be a thyroid condition. So I would have her do a thyroid blood work. Actually, I would have her watch the webinar that I did on thyroid health and pay attention to the blood values that I talk about in my webinar on thyroid health. Have her blood checked against those values and see whether or not the thyroid is at play. If the thyroid is at play, it's a really easy thing to fix.
If you are sick and tired of feeling sick and tired, if you are finally finished with expensive and ineffective MD treatments, and if you are frustrated with not knowing which nutritional supplements to take, you have come to exactly the right place. We are here to help. Log into eiffelhealth.com, click the contact button, and someone who has been working with Dr. Glidden will contact you and show you exactly what to do to recover your health. Go to eiffelhealth.com. That's eiffelhealth.com and click the contact button now.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Peter Glidden, your steadfast advocate for health. Let's finish out the show with Cheryl in Georgia. Looks like we're staying in the South today. Welcome aboard, Cheryl. What's going on below the Mason-Dixon line today?
It's very nice here today. How are you?
I'm good. What's happening?
Well, my right arm has had a lot of swelling in it for a couple of months, and my neck is really stiff, frozen to the left side. Can't turn it. I did have some imaging done, thermograms done, and they said it was lymph congestion. I guess in my arm and my neck, part of the problem.
Well, that's interesting. How long has that been going on?
How long has the arm been going on?
Yeah.
Probably for 2 months. I've been noticing it.
All right. Are you doing anything with longevity or medical nutrition so far?
I am actually. Before all this started, I was having a problem with my hip. I walk a lot, and I got where I could barely walk. The hip was just really sore, and I say it's my hip, it could have been my lower back, but making me have a limp. And then so I started on the longevity products. A friend told me about them, and I did the bone and joint pack. And after doing that for, not even a month, I'm walking almost normal.
You got to love it. Isn't that great? Isn't that just great?
That's awesome. Yes, that's just awesome. Yes, it is.
Okay. So in order to kind of clean up the rest here, there's 2 things that you would be advised to do. Well, actually 3 things. You have to stop eating food that's gumming up the works. So you need to eliminate all 12 of the bad foods. Have you done that?
Yes.
Okay, good girl. Number 2, you need to either start taking or increase the dose of selenium that you're taking. Are you taking any selenium?
I am. I've been taking, I was taking 3 a day, and then I upped it to 6 a day.
How much do you weigh?
130.
All right, so I would do 9 a day until the lymphatic problem goes away. I would do 3, 3, and 3 between meals if you can do it. Just keep a weather eye out to the storm, though, because if you take too much selenium, your breath is going to start to get fishy or garlicky. Your nails are starting to get a little brittle, and or your hair. If either of those things happens on a regular basis, then I would back off to 6 a day, step it down from 9. But I think that you can have 9 a day right now, no problem. And Good Herbs lymphatic support. Get 4 bottles of the Good Herbs lymphatic support. Take a half a teaspoon 3 times a day, half a teaspoon 3 times a day. That should sort it out. I would think that it would take about 3 months for that condition to resolve, and it's going to happen kind of slowly and steadily, but that's what I would do. Are you familiar with the Good Herbs stuff? That's a subsidiary of Longevity?
I have looked at that website. I haven't ordered any.
Yeah, so there, it's when you go to your shopping cart at Longevity into your back office, they have a drop-down list of all the different companies, right? And Good Herbs is a Longevity company now, and Good Herbs sells their products in single bottles, in packs of 4 or packs of 12. I would get the 4-pack of Good Herbs lymphatic support, 4 bottles, and take a half a teaspoon 3 times a day. You can either take that straight out of the bottle, or you can mix it in with your Beyond Tangy Tangerine or anything else you want. It's a half a teaspoon 3 times a day, and bump up the selenium dose to 9 a day. And just make sure, because you're in the South, nobody's sneaking in any fried food into your diet.
Okay.
Yeah, they'd fry water down there if they could. I mean, let's be honest, right? Yeah.
That's right.
All right, Cheryl, give that a run and let me know what happens in a couple of months. I appreciate your trust and your support. Ladies and gentlemen, go to glidden.healthcare, please. Glidden.healthcare. Become a Dr. Glidden advocate. Learn how to educate yourself about the simple steps necessary to support your body's built-in God-given ability to fix itself. If you're sick and tired of being sick and tired and getting nonsense information from the men and the women in the white coats then Glidden.healthcare is exactly where you need to be. We all lift each other up, and a rising tide floats all boats. Until next time, live long and prosper. I'll see you around campus.